Hashtag single dad, hashtag kindness, hashtag emotional story. Daddy, please help her. The single dad took down 2 men. The next day, the CEO came looking for him. Marcus Hale hadn't planned on being a hero. He had planned on microwaving leftover spaghetti, checking his daughter's math homework, and collapsing onto the couch for a few quiet minutes before sleep claimed him. That was the rhythm of his life, simple, predictable, safe. Ever since his wife passed away 3 years earlier, safe was all he wanted. He worked long shifts as a warehouse supervisor, packed school lunches before dawn, braided hair with clumsy fingers every morning, and learned how to fix everything from leaky faucets to broken hearts. His 8-year-old daughter, Lily, was his world. Small, bright, and full of questions, she had inherited her mother's gentleness and Marcus's stubborn streak. That Thursday night, after realizing they were out of milk for the next morning's cereal, Marcus decided to take a quick walk to the neighborhood convenience store. Lily insisted on coming along. I like nighttime walks, she said, slipping her small hand into his. It feels like the world is whispering. Marcus smiled. Let's hope it's whispering something about chocolate milk being on sale. The streets were quiet, washed in amber streetlight. The air carried the faint scent of rain. It was peaceful, until it wasn't. As they approached the store, Marcus noticed movement near the side alley. 2 men stood too close to a young woman, blocking her path. Her back was pressed against the brick wall. One of the men laughed, low, cruel. Marcus slowed. Lily felt it too. She squeezed his hand tighter. Daddy, she whispered. The woman's voice trembled. Please, I don't have anything valuable. One of the men grabbed her purse anyway. Marcus's chest tightened. He scanned the area, no one else around. The store's windows reflected the scene like a silent witness. He didn't want trouble. He had Lily beside him. He had responsibilities. Then the man shoved the woman harder, and she hit the wall with a dull thud. Lily's grip became urgent. Her voice, small but fierce, broke through him. Daddy, please help her. It wasn't fear in her eyes. It was belief. She believed her father could fix this. Marcus felt something old and steady rise in him, the part of him that had boxed in college, the part that had once stepped between a bully and a smaller kid without thinking. He gently guided Lily behind him. Stay right here, he said quietly. Don't move. He stepped into the alley. Hey, Marcus's voice cut through the darkness. The 2 men turned. Back off, Marcus said. Let her go. The taller one sneered. Mind your business. Marcus didn't. The shorter man lunged first, probably assuming Marcus was just another tired guy playing hero. He wasn't prepared for the speed of Marcus's reaction. Years of lifting crates and unloading trucks had built more than endurance, they had built strength. Marcus sidestepped and drove his shoulder into the man's chest, sending him crashing to the ground. The taller one swung wildly. Marcus took the hit to his cheek but stayed standing. He grabbed the man's wrist, twisted hard, and used his momentum to flip him against the brick wall. The impact knocked the wind out of him. The shorter man scrambled up, pulling a pocketknife. Lily gasped behind him. Everything slowed. Marcus stepped between the blade and the woman, calculating distance, angle, timing. When the man lunged, Marcus grabbed a discarded metal trash can lid and slammed it against the attacker's arm. The knife clattered to the pavement. One solid punch ended it. The alley fell silent except for heavy breathing. The 2 men lay groaning on the ground. Marcus turned immediately, not to celebrate, not to check himself, but to Lily. She stood exactly where he'd left her, eyes wide but steady. You okay? He asked. She nodded. Then he looked at the woman. She was shaking, tears streaking her face. Thank you, she whispered. Marcus bent to retrieve her purse and handed it to her. Are you hurt? She shook her head, still stunned. Sirens wailed faintly in the distance. Someone from the store must have called the police. That's when Marcus noticed something else. The woman's clothes were expensive. Her shoes alone probably cost more than his monthly car payment. And the car parked at the curb, a sleek black sedan, wasn't something you saw in that neighborhood often. The police arrived, statements were taken, and the 2 men were arrested. Marcus declined medical attention despite the swelling on his cheek. The woman introduced herself simply as Elena. I don't know how to thank you, she said. You don't have to, Marcus replied. Just get home safe. Lily stepped forward. My daddy's very brave, she said matter-of-factly. Elena knelt down to Lily's level. Yes, she said softly. He is. Marcus thought that was the end of it. It wasn't. The next morning, Marcus was halfway through unloading a shipment when his manager hurried across the warehouse floor. Marcus, he called, breathless. There's someone here to see you. Marcus wiped his hands on a rag. Tell them I'm on shift. You're going to want to see this, the manager insisted. Outside the warehouse, parked like it owned the street, was the same sleek black sedan. And beside it stood Elena. But she wasn't alone. 3 men in tailored suits stood behind her. One held a tablet, another spoke quietly into an earpiece. Elena was dressed differently today. Sharp navy suit, hair pulled back, presence commanding. Marcus blinked. She smiled. Good morning, Marcus. You found me. She nodded. I told you I would, thank you. His manager hovered nearby, wide-eyed. Elena extended her hand. My full name is Elena Navarro. I'm the CEO of Navarro Tech Industries. The name hit Marcus like a delayed echo. He'd seen it on billboards, in business magazines, at the grocery checkout. Navarro Tech was a global logistics and automation company. Massive. I don't understand, Marcus admitted. I was in town evaluating one of our regional distribution contracts, Elena explained. Your warehouse is one of the facilities we've been considering acquiring. Marcus glanced back at the building, suddenly self-conscious about its peeling paint. You could have lost your life last night, she continued. Instead, you risked it for someone you didn't know. My daughter asked me to, Marcus said simply. Elena's expression softened. I had security run a background check, she said. You've worked here 11 years. No disciplinary issues. Promoted twice. Your team's efficiency metrics are the highest in the region. Marcus felt heat rise in his face. I just do my job. That's exactly the point. She took a breath. I'm not here just to say thank you. I'm here to offer you something. His manager looked like he might faint. We're restructuring operations, Elena said. I need someone to oversee workforce integration at 3 regional facilities. It requires leadership, integrity, and someone who understands people on the ground. Marcus stared at her. It comes with a significant salary increase, she added gently. And flexible hours. Flexible, he repeated. I reviewed your file, she said. Single father. You leave exactly at 5:15 every day to pick up your daughter. That matters to me. Silence hung heavy in the air. Why me? Marcus finally asked. Elena's answer was immediate. Because last night, when it would have been easier to walk away, you didn't. That tells me everything I need to know about how you'll lead. Marcus thought about Lily's small voice. Daddy, please help her. He imagined being home for dinner more often. Helping with science projects without checking the clock. Attending school plays without asking for shift swaps. This is a lot, he said. Elena smiled. Take the day. Talk to your daughter. I'll be in town until tomorrow. That evening, Marcus sat at the kitchen table, the offer letter spread between them. Lily swung her legs under her chair. So, she asked, what does a boss of bosses do? Marcus chuckled. Something like that. He explained the new job in simple terms. More responsibility, more pay, less time lifting boxes, more time making decisions. Would we have to move? She asked. Maybe eventually, but somewhere nice, with a bigger backyard. She grew quiet. Are you scared? He asked. A little, she admitted. But you weren't scared last night. He reached across the table and took her hand. Oh, I was scared, he said. I just knew helping was more important. Lily nodded thoughtfully. Then maybe this is like that, she said. It's scary, but it's helping in a different way. Marcus felt his throat tighten. Out of the mouths of children. The next day, he accepted. 6 months later, Marcus stood in a newly renovated distribution center, now fully under Navarro Tech's banner. Workers who once feared layoffs now had upgraded benefits, safer equipment, and clearer advancement paths. Marcus had insisted on one thing when he signed the contract: no mass firings during restructuring. Elena agreed. You were right about him, she told her board later. Integrity scales. At home, life changed too. Marcus attended Lily's school play front row center. He coached her soccer team. They moved into a modest but bright house with room for a garden Lily insisted on planting. One evening, as they watered tomato plants, Lily looked up at him. Daddy, yeah, do you think that lady is okay? Marcus smiled. I think she's doing just fine. In a downtown office across the city, Elena Navarro paused at her window, looking out over the skyline. She kept a photo on her desk, not of awards or board meetings, but of a quiet alley captured by a security camera. In the corner of the frame stood a little girl behind her father. Watching, believing. Sometimes, the biggest promotions don't start in boardrooms. They start when a child says, please help her. And someone listens. 1500 WAD.